VP's perspectives on the trends and opportunities in the industry. Kurt?
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me all right? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm Kurt Kyle. I'm the industry principal for media. That means that I get to work with our customers, first and foremost, and talk about the solutions and capabilities we have. But I also get to hear about their problems and their needs and what they want to do, and try to find great ways that we can implement our technology. You may have heard of SAP. We've been known as an enterprise software company for a long time. We started off in the ERP space. That's become about 30% of our business. We're very popular in the advertising market as a CRM platform, and we do various enterprise applications. That's about 20% of our business. But 50% of our business nowadays is in analytics. And we just added some exciting new businesses that our customers are using for media and advertising applications that I'd like to talk about in just a second. So what are we seeing in the advertising market? Well, first off, measurement and analytics. We've started to work with some customers in some very exciting new areas in audience measurement and targeting. And we're talking about the scope of looking at an entire MSO's operation and understanding their client base as advertisements are deployed, understanding exactly who we're getting to the ads to. More and more into online, talking about social media, the concepts of social listening and mood, establishing how people are reacting to brands, to advertising campaigns, being able to understand across a base of hundreds of thousands to millions of people just where they would rate those messages that they're seeing. In mobility, we're working with an emerging platform of our own. Sybase, which you may know from the SMS world, is very popular. We're also starting to look at how do we do cross-platform advertising, cross-platform identification of users, and do that on a mass basis so that we can provide, again, better metrics, better understanding, better experience to people as they move from platform to platform. And again, we're working with our customers to accommodate the needs of advertisers as they require certain audiences, as they change what their mix of ads and ad plays are, and working with the audience and how we handle audience to do things like do not track lists and different infrastructure plays. So some examples of what we're doing today. We have a technology which is in-memory computing. So what we've done is we've taken the greatest machines that are out there on the market today, large amounts of memory, solid-state disks, and applied database technology to those new machines to be able to do things that haven't been done before. So the idea here is to take a very large section of audience, say an entire cable system, be able to take, our example today is taking a 40 terabyte database, 460 billion of rows, and being able to do real-time reporting against that, to refresh our data, refresh our reports in about 10 seconds. So you get the idea that in terms of real-time advertising, if you're looking at an ad on a cable set-top box, we should be able to understand the demographic that is watching that ad as they see it. Understand the amount of people that react to that ad, and in what ways do they react to it. There's some new overlay technology so that you can take a video picture, put an ad on top of it, or take an ad and put a button on top of it that says, click this button if you'd like additional material, if you'd like a coupon, right? So being able in real time to feed back demographic or psychographic information about who is reacting to that ad. Offer acceptance. So actually taking what a major advertiser is doing, say, on a cable system or on a mobile system, measure the reaction to that ad, map it to demographics, then go back to the reseller and take the purchase data and try to cross-correlate what's happening between ad spend and reaction in the retail channel at the same time. And we're trying to do that today in our labs with, let's say, the world's or the country's largest reseller and one of the major cable companies. And last, customer billing, pricing, offer management. So taking large online websites, in this case it's one of the largest media retailing websites, and take hundreds of millions of transactions a month, but be able to create new offers, to create volume-based tiers, to take tiers of customers based upon behavior and change offers, and do that almost in real time. We're also innovating in terms of how we offer people our software and how we court the entrepreneur, support them, work as a partner with them. A great example is Skullcandy, which just announced its IPO on Friday, but this is a company that we accommodate with no IT department. They're actually using SAP software in a hosted fashion from our by design team. If you're more interested in how that occurs, we've got a pod upstairs. We'll be happy to explain to you how we do those hosted services. But it's really allowing the company to get up, to move quickly into their industry, support them with some industry-specific configurations of our product, and allow them to be very nimble and very fast. So I mentioned that I wanted to talk a little bit about what we're specifically doing in mobility. We bought the company Sybase not too long ago, and Sybase has something called the Sybase Unwired Platform. So this is a combination of service. They actually have a presence across different mobile networks. So they have the ability to deliver a mobile application on a BlackBerry, on Verizon's network, on T-Mobile's network, on AT&T's network. They have the ability to write applications across these platforms that are similar with a common integrated development environment, and the ability to pull from multiple platforms, multiple information sources to feed those apps that then get delivered all the way down to handsets. So this is a little bit clearer picture of that. So there's the possibility of being able to take advertisements, advertising data, put it through the platform, deliver it down to the different wireless systems, and then have a common application architecture that would get it to iPads, iPhones, BlackBerries, whatever device you chose. So here's an example of some of the folks we work with. I know this is not exactly the small company entrepreneurial space, but it gives you an idea of some of the folks that we interact with. I would balance this view with the majority of our customers, 75% of our customers are actually what we would consider to be small enterprise customers. So we do have a love for the big folks. They are wonderful proof points for us, but we also have a love for the entrepreneurs, for the small enterprise, and we've done a lot in our new offerings to accommodate them and to reach out to them. Okay. So I'm pretty well on time. Does anybody have any questions? Is that a slightly different view of SAP than you had when you walked in? Yes.
The Sybase platform, does that go right down to the interface, like user interface on the mobile?
So what it's really intended for,
about the data flow.
It's really about the data flow and application delivery. So it's really about a common environment. We're not focused on, say, mobile websites, but on applications. Okay. So I didn't mention Comcast specifically, but they're out there. We are working with the cable companies to really look at down to the subscriber level. So if you understand, and I'm sure you do, that most of these enterprises have privacy policies and privacy concerns, so they cannot take their data outside to other companies. So they have their subscriber information, they have whatever identifiable information, but advertisers usually want more information. So they buy an outside data source. There's a need to correlate their subscriber information with the information from outside data, build a demographic profile, understand who they're delivering ads to. Then there is ad delivery, which is actually happening to the set-top box. So you have to identify which ad are on which box, which person has seen it, and what demographic they belong to. Right? So that allows you to build a fairly complete picture for the advertiser of who I have delivered to. Right? And doing that on a real-time basis, which allows people to adjust ad spend more quickly. Because at this point, subscriber data, really even on the billing platforms, so actually sending you your bill, happens 20 to 30 days after the close of a cycle. Right? So moving those people who are used to analyzing their data in 30 days down to 3 seconds is really what we're trying to do. Is there another question out there? No? So in general, the idea of this real-time analytics, real-time decisioning. Sure, absolutely. And I mentioned those examples because those are fresh ones that we have, but we're certainly looking. Oh gosh, I think that given the right people and the right understanding, television can catch up in a matter of months in terms of, because if we're dealing at the MSO level, they already have a customer relationship and they have some identifying information. So just deploying that information and using it is really what's left. The agencies are very interested in this. As a matter of fact, most of the agencies are looking at the entire idea of how they get their analytics and how they sell their audience, and most of them have major initiatives. Of course. Sorry? That is part of it. I mean, there's several ways that people are approaching the problem, and standards-based is part of it. But there are also folks who are doing this outside of the box. And there are initiatives through folks like Cable Labs, through New Ventures, and that sort of thing, right, to do that sort of work. Well, you're going a little bit beyond my scope, but what I'm dealing with mainly are the agencies who are trying to build those analytics and build those internally. Okay. So that's great. All right, wonderful. Thank you guys very much for the time.
Thanks, Kurt, for those interesting insights. I'd like to welcome our next panel to the stage, the local panel.